season he said he's going to try and do something that penalises you really badly for throwing it out. We do it, we always do it, and Grindrod usually does, throws it up, doesn't he? But it's like, it's good respect though, I suppose, isn't it? They're more worried about you running it back than they are. Well, I was like,
so final game of the day, and it is the Titans versus the Steam.
Whoa.
Big first play, breaks through 2 tackles, breaks through 4. I mean, there's ways of starting up a game, and that's one of them. You may not get the throw off return, but
yeah. So the irony is no throw run return. So the first play runs it back. Oh yeah.
So Titans 6-0 up.
Hang on, I'll come back.
The 1 point play picked off. He's Dobson to drop that one.
Good adjustment. No, good adjustment there. And like you say, if you're going to go behind, you might as well do it in the first play of the game, aren't you?
Well, we've talked about this before. Do you want to go behind early and things like that? And
no.
If you are going to go behind, do you want it on that first play to give you the time? But
yeah.
They've taken that option this time.
We've just had it in our game. It's the other way. We scored really quickly on a drive when we needed to score, which suddenly changed the dynamic for get a stop to we can actually let them have a drive here because we scored first play. It didn't work out, obviously.
Tom Charles looking deep down that left-hand side once again. Way too far in front.
Yeah, just overthrew him, basically. Fair play to the receiver. He was running hard. That's just a
I mean, look,
overthrow. Simple as that.
It was an overthrow is an understatement. He was about 5 yards ahead of him.
He's just caught up to it now. If nothing, no, that certainly, you know, they're a good team, this Titans team, and if anything, at least it gives them pause for thought.
So split receivers, slot on the right hand side, finding Dan in that middle.
Yeah, Dan Spence is a nice little target to have there, isn't he?
He's one of their key receivers, as we've talked about a few times. Obviously, they've also got Greg Elliott, and last season they had Tom Childs. Obviously, he's now moved to QB, so they've lost one receiving threat.
He who shall not be named. Is that how you're doing it now?
I don't know if we're allowed to mention for legal reasons his name. I don't know if there's still an ongoing court case between him and the team.
Probably is against you somewhere.
There normally is. Trips on the left-hand side now for the Steam. Blitz coming through, taking that middle route once again, finding Dan.
Lovely throw again, Spence there on the dig in.
Tries to cut back against a few.
He's made a nice gain at the back of that, hasn't he? As well. A very, very good answering drive. And again, if anything, you quite like doing one of these where the defence is rocking a bit and thinking, well, we can't stop them. It's getting what they want.
Get them on the back foot, and that's what you start looking for. Rolling out to that right once
good
again,
movement.
taking
and
the run.
Again, he's took the run and he's gone in. Nice. He's a very savvy quarterback, isn't he?
It's a lot more QBs are looking at that run not as I'm being forced out of the pocket, I'm going to take a run now, which is highly what I used to do. Now it's a lot more brought into plays and designed.
It's also a little bit like where he wins on that. It's like you see a quarterback like Mishak, you're expecting the run, so there's an element of the defence is a bit more switched on. On this, you don't think about it in the same way. And so he does get that. When he makes it, he does really well, doesn't he? It's a bit like when Grindrod has them as well. You know, you're not expecting him to run, so you kind of watching your defence without really having to pay huge attention to it.
Yeah, you normally
do it. It's good.
You do your normal job of watching the receivers, not really taking much. Much thought about the QB. Next thing you know, he's barreling down that field towards you.
Earl Spartan did it to us twice. Proper designed run. And the rest of it, no movement really in that respect. So you're just not switched on in the same way as you are when you see a real mobile type of quarterback.
That sidearm through again.
With a little sidearm. hasn't changed his name to Dunlop. Okay, so it's twins on the left and a wide receiver to the right, and he's gone under centre for this. And he's took the snap, he's dropped back, he's looking deep, he's got 23 again, he's made another great
Cuts back
play,
on that one.
and just unfortunately for the defensive back, he missed them as he come down and he's walked in untouched. And that was two great big plays.
It's a great one to have. It's the awareness of not only finding the ball but knowing where that defender behind you is, and managing to drop round quickly and make that catch, and then the play afterwards. So finding that score in there.
So convert the extra point, and another very quick drive on offense for the Titans, and puts them back in the lead.
Sorry for the, if you've got a black screen there, do not adjust your set. I was just changing the battery in the camera. Tom Charles rolling out to his left-hand side.
He's under real pressure there. Great
There's a lot
pursuit.
of pressure by that blitzer.
Yeah, great pursuit. Couldn't easily give up on them a bit and think it's going to go, and he's giving for the sack there. And they're just checking whether maybe he went out of bounds, I think they're looking at. Got one of our rookies there learning his trade as a referee. It's always good to have Luke out in the centre when you're doing that. He does know.
Yeah, if you're going to have a few
he's always in control,
rookie referees, you want a few people to back him up with experience.
Definitely. So twins on the right again. Is he taking a deep shot? No, he's not. He's gonna. Oh, he has. That's a tough. See again. That's playing the. That's a penalty. You know, after when we've taught these things again, I'm sorry, but he's manipulated him out of the way. And
I mean, there was a few in the last team game where there was a debate on whether it was a penalty on contact or not.
See, I subscribe to the fact what we said is like there's always incidents. I know that's not the rules as we talked about earlier, but I subscribe to those kind of things. You've got to let a little bit of it happen, a bit like the basketball scenario thing, isn't it? I think if you do get too anal,
yeah,
and too tight on it,
like somebody said in the comments, you are going to end up calling every single play.
That is a beautiful little play, and what a catch! I mean, we've just had exactly the same type of thing, and this time he's come down with that ball, and fantastic play.
I mean,
superb.
As I said on the previous one, he did promise me a few highlights, and he gave us one in the last one. He may have just given us another one there. Hopefully I managed to spin that camera around fast enough and actually get him on film for that one.
Didn't. It's funny. That would play of the day, and it's just from a bit of commentary. That was a brilliant catch, honest.
So is that awkward bit with you? Obviously he knows where I work, so he will come and find me if I haven't got that one on.
I doubt he's going to come down where you work, mate.
He comes into that office every single day.
You have to have tetanus for that, don't you?
Rolling out to that right on the left hand side, Greg Elliott with the score.
Play, and nicely designed play, isn't it? Pops the guy open, and it's a pretty easy pitch and catch. So 13 all now. It's a good game. We say that a lot, and then someone just goes and blows them out.
It's normally the first half is looking really good. It's a 13 all tied game on that one. You may have just seen in the far left of the screen, Hannah from the Cowan Cougars making a great play on the ball on that one. Tom rolling out left again. Flag has been thrown. Greg scores this one.
What's the flag for is the question. It does look like it's on the offence.
Say, it was thrown fairly early.
Yeah, what Luke's explaining there, he's done him for impeding the blitzer, I believe, and that's because the blitzer has the line. So even though he moved off, the blocking came, and they're saying, well, he would have, but he didn't. He kept the line, and therefore he's got done for impeding. And as we've confirmed in the last game, it's a loss of down, which then creates the turnover and no extra point to try. So 13 all.
So that stays at 13
Let's
all.
see if they can stop Mr. Number 23 going for a touchdown on the first 2 plays. That might help. Well, he's got a shot again, hasn't he? But this time, yeah, there's a great. Oh, he's gone anyways. He's so friendly with that end zone. He's decided to go down there anyway.
It's still like NFL training method, when running backs, even though they would always end up running to like the 20-yard line just to get the extra exercise in and things like that.
Yeah, same as all of it. Innit? Special teams do it as well. Everything.
Run the full length just to make sure.
So what you're saying is he just needs the cardio.
Oh yeah, he looks like it.
We don't look out of breath at all, does he? Seems to be back in the huddle. I've been running a lot of digs today and deep routes, and I've got to admit I was getting a bit struggling to get out there a couple of times in terms of off the huddle. Just tell me the play and let me stay out on the receiver end. And Rabano's done his patented little hip swing and lovely run there. Got it gained, put it right up there and just short of the first down. And that gives that really easy, I don't know if it's third or fourth now, but it gives that really easy 2 yards. It's almost impossible to stop it, isn't it?
So third down, and by the looks of it, it's about 4 yards away.
Yeah, it's a bit further than I thought, but yeah, 4 yards.
Oh, sorry.
But it does for a quarterback. I mean, that's a lovely position to be in, isn't it? You can take a look at a deep shot, but you run a couple of guys underneath, and you should be able to pick up the first if there's nothing open deep. And there's something open deep, I would say. My word, this guy's having a day, isn't he? I hope you caught that one as well.
I really hope I actually fell over the tripod at that point. So.
I know, sorry about that, mate. I was just shorts off. Beautiful catch, though. It's a sort of back shouldery kind of spin and jump, and great hands, and he high pointed it really, didn't he? So fair play. I mean, if you're the team, you feel for him. I mean, that's 3 huge plays, really, and
yeah, so
they've really done a lot wrong, have they?
They've kind of held their own and kept the players in check and everything like that, but then all of a sudden you just get him making 1 play breakaways. And
what was that? Third play. So they scored on the. Oh, there we go. First play scored, second play scored, third play scored. So it'll be on 4th down next time, and that's great coverage there. And that was never open. So yeah. So we'll call it. Shall we? The next play it'll be 4th down, 23 for a score. 4th play.
It's like Adam Rabano's taken a step onto the defensive side of the ball as well now.
Playing the safety as well, which is a good place for a quarterback. You can read the game really well both sides, then, can't you? Levin's got pressure on him again, and he's found Spence. Oh, lovely little move there, and he sold Tibbles out of his shoes a bit there. But again, good move. There's a couple of big plays today, isn't there?
Yeah,
on this game.
I mean, I don't know if they've called Lee Tibbles out of returement.
Yeah, same as me today. He saw me come out there, I think, and he realised if you're 70, you can still get out there.
He thought it was the Veterans League, so he thought he'd turn up today.
He wanted to show me up and show me he's still got it. Yeah, came out of retirement for an 0-3 day. I should have.
I'm not saying there's a link.
Yeah, there is. To be fair, I'm happy. I was open a lot of times. Hopefully you caught a bit of that. Quite enjoyed myself. Oh, again, a
taking that
running
roll out again.
Thing unexpected, and he's gone a long way there. Great run. Again, back and forth. Quick strike, drive.
I say it's the differing aspects of a playbook there. Tom Charles is the slow. We're going to take it down. Okay, he has got a big arm that he can launch it, but he hasn't done too much this game. And then you got the Adam Rabano, let's throw it to number 23, and it's worked out so far. Currently got a 19-13 lead. Trips on the left-hand side, rolling out to that right.
Yeah, he's got a sack there. Yeah, and he's got a sack. To be fair, he's done the movement off the ball and he hasn't had a lot there. He's had a tough throw back across his body to Spence, and he's took the sack just before he got it away.
third down now. Twins on the right hand side.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to do that plays was money on the last time with the centre on the 5 and out type of thing.
Well, the centre in the last game against the Blackhawks he did that, hit that middle zone.
Oh my word! I mean, yeah, you've got to lambast your receiver for that, haven't you? As a quarterback, you want the guy to actually try and catch you. That was an unfortunate one. He had a good game last time I watched as well, so he's no slouch out there.
I think Dan Spence is calling for a holding call.
Ah, okay. That's the Raccoons. They won't see that, mate.
I mean, I know there was a few contentious decisions in previous games. I mean, you get that in every single flag game.
Yeah. Yeah, he's done it. He's called it. And again, that's what's good. He's gone there. He's obviously talked to a couple. I don't know who's actually told him that that's what happened. And I mean, we're now you've got to score here. Basically, it's first and goal.
I mean, you'd hope that they would. I mean, four plays.
You've got to believe you're going to score here.
4 plays from 4 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, a yard of play and they're in.
Quarterback dive, if only.
Tom Charles would love that one right now, I think.
Oh, he's got a little bit confused what he's doing there, and he's took the sack, and it's almost like he was on a different page.
Yeah, so he had Dan Spence trying to roll. I think it was Dan Spence started at running back on that one.
Yeah, it just looked weird because it looked like it was the quarterback who had the problem, and he called the play.
Yeah, so
it looked like
Dan Spence behind him as a running back rolling out to the left. They had a receiver from the right hand side who was coming around almost like an end around route from the right hand side to the left, and Tom Charles rolling to the left.
Yeah. I'm guessing he ran the wrong side of him, so he hadn't got what he thought he got. Wow. Okay, again, really good coverage, and at least he's put it in a position where the only one making a play on it is the receiver. And we're at the, dare we say it, third and goal from the 4, and suddenly it's you're getting a bit squeaky bum there if you're in the offence.
So we're just looking at it going, this is one of those things that you're 4 yards away, you've got to score from this one.
Yeah.
Thinking this should be a fairly easy one.
Yeah, we've ended up with a sack and incompletion, and suddenly
trips on the left hand side.
So gone back to that trips play. He's rolled out and 5's there, and this time he makes sure. Great recovery for him from a tough one a few minutes ago, and there we go. We're back in 19 all. 19
all. So obviously the way we've covered every game so far, it's 19 all. So one team, as we keep saying, it's a very close game. So one team by the end of it is going to blow the other team out.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah, it's going to be about 4 or 5 scores difference.
Be good to see what the time check is now. I guess that's a interesting one. So we saw that with the Gunslingers the other game, didn't we? Where they took the ball with seconds to go and blew the game out because they converted for a touchdown with like 10 seconds on the clock. They drove 2 plays and scored, and that was the end of that game. It was not competitive after that, wasn't it? So this is a chance again to see if they've got the big plays going.
So we'll try and get a time check on.
Callum, who's doing time? Okay. Just wondering how long's left.
Number 23.
Same play again. I think if I'm them, I'm manning him. I'm just putting man and let him run the slant.
I don't know if they've tried doing that because they've.
I think they have. I think exactly what they're saying. I guess you've got that other thing as if you can run it, that if he runs in, you pick him up.
So
and if he runs out, you tell your corner to go with him.
A little bit of
you've got to give him some respect, haven't you?
A little bit of hearing the defence there. They were actually in man.
So he is pretty much, he runs a slant, he runs an in and out, and now third down, so he's not going to score this play, it'll be the one after from how it's been going.
So I think they are in man, just hearing a bit of conversation by the defence there.
Like that, doesn't it?
Slightly low ball there, I think he managed to get that
deep
away.
All the way, if Rabano can see that, it's hit. Yeah, and the question here is whether he's out. It looks like he's out to me. Okay. No, they've called him a foot in. I got to admit, it'd be good to see that because I don't think he was.
Yeah.
Well, he's come up with a big play again though, so. I think Callum's got that wrong because you catch the ball, you've still got to land.
It's.
You've got to land.
I think
just because you've got the ball as you come down doesn't count as a catch until you hit the ground.
He said
so
it was
the
1
refs
foot
actually
in.
said what happened and called it wrong. So that was a shame.
So he said that he had 1 foot in.
When he landed, he said he caught it, and when he landed, he had 1 foot in. Yeah, but he had 1 foot out. So anyway, it is what it is. There's a flag, probably impeding maybe.
There we go.
That's the loss of down. So that brings them to third down then. If you're going to get a stop, this is the time now. This is the time.
So 19-all. I mean, this is one of those ones.
Yeah.
It's not quite that it's whoever scores next is going to win the game sort of time, but
Again, what's good, it's been clearly said, even with this here, whether it was or not, they've clearly said, they've made the call. You can't complain because it's clearly spelled out and everyone's heard it and the reasons why they've called it. So it's third down. Nope, it's loss of down. It's not. It's not what we had Grime Rod at the last game, and we were told clearly. We just had one down there where it turned over because you lose the down. So it makes sense really, because it's why should you get just because you lose 5 yards? It's not that much of a penalty for impeding a blitzer.
I think there was a lot of the words you normally hear was if you can't lose yardage and lose a down on the same penalty.
Yeah, maybe.
So I don't know.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because like Grindwood called us and said on the last, and he's obviously part of the Gunslingers, and he said it's a loss of down penalty. But again, I guess we all need to have a look in the rule book for that one, or ask the commish.
I mean, I think I've just heard a call for 36 seconds left.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. So.
Impeding the blitzer may be called on that one.
Blitz, and they're going to score as well, so it's going to be wiped off. Oh no, it was a defensive penalty.
No, I think.
No, 23 scored, another lovely catch and in, and he threw the flag to give them the choice, and they've obviously declined it, and it's a score.
Well, as I said, you can't really. The offense wouldn't have the choice of impeding the blitzer.
No, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't impeding the blitzer. It was an offensive foul, defensive
foul.
Yeah, but I don't know what he called. But it
the
was
way that I heard it was that he'd called an impeding
foul
one.
on the defence.
He'd rather throw the flag and then not.
Yeah, and then he explained to Adam that he's thrown it to give him the choice because it's easier to give you the decline than to ignore it. And 25 to 19, and there's literally 20 seconds or so. So, well, we know they're capable of throwing the length of the field. So, 25, 19.
So a big.
That's my school of coaching. Don't let them score.
Don't let them score. It's a great defensive method.
You didn't do what I told you.
I mean, as defensive strategies go, you cannot really fault that one.
No,
don't let them
same
score.
on offense, just score.
Yeah.
That's how I do it when I'm coaching it. Just score, lads.
Greg on the
That's
outside
not bad
there.
at all. And they use oh my word! I think he's got a very big play there, and then call timeout. And we're calling at. Be interesting to see how long's left.
6 seconds left on this one now.
If the guy timeout, so they actually have a chance for a very quick shot at the end zone, maybe, and call the timeout. That's the one good thing they've got going for them.
So we're looking about 12 yards away.
Yeah.
As they're on the OFL 2-point line.
It's that, or do you take the risk and you take something short and just call timeout? It's a very risky strategy. There's definitely enough time to make a quick throw to the end zone and
you could get a quick out to the receivers and then step out of bounds, which is what I think he's doing.
Done. Yeah, and that's what they've done. So they've got about a second left, 2 seconds left maybe. Not a bad little play really.
I mean, like
could have gone in and.
So we're looking 4 yards away now.
Yep. and definitely last play of the game, barring a defensive penalty. Of the half, sorry. Are you going to call 23 for a signature big play because we're due one?
I'm trying. So So if the Steam score here,
yeah, it'll be 25 all.
and if they got the ball off then quick enough, they've got too many men on the field there for Titans with a late substitution.
Well spotted.
See, I spotted it, but Tom didn't. So I think he was more focused on getting this play ready.
Yeah.
You would have basically had a free play then. But blitz used.
The blitz is used, so he's got it. It's just nobody came. Oh, someone's thrown. Oh, it's unlucky.
Just out of reach.
Just a shame.
On that
I think that's that having to run around didn't give him a chance to get his body right. And unless there's a defensive penalty, that is the half, and it's all clear.
So 25-19 at the half, Titans lead, but Steam will start with the ball in the second half, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, we were there in one game. We still lost. 0-3 day. Bit of running around and my knees are going.
So 25-19, and as we said, every single game that's been close at the half is just one of those ones where it just gets absolutely blown out.
Yeah. Even the blowouts, they've been 0-0 at the start as well. They've been really tight.
I mean, if you have to predict a winning team from this one at the moment, who are you actually going to predict on this one?
Yeah, I'm going with Titans. I mean, the interesting thing is if they could find a way, of stopping 23, they might have a chance. But at the moment, it's like Adam's not even had to go deep into any kind of drives. It's just been a couple of plays, and then suddenly 23 finds himself making a huge play for him, and there we go.
It does seem to be the key weapon. I mean, a few other players have gained a few yards on other plays, but not too much.
I mean, interesting. The big thing had been the call whether that ball was out there, because that would have been a turnover on that one, and he ends up with that huge play, which eventually became the touchdown again. But again, it's just crazy how many big plays they've pulled out.
So now the question is, what they're going to do for the throw off? Are they going to take the penalty for this one?
Well, the way they were not happy about it being done, I'm hoping they won't.
They're opting for the 10-yard penalty.
I mean,
this is sort of...
I mean, you should be expunged from the league for that kind of stuff. Isn't there an element of you should still make them throw it?
I think there is, but they're also just going for the idea if it's just going to waste time running the ball around. And
it's not quite as grey as me though, Shay. Not far off. Shay's been doing his normal. When we parked today, he was giving us the V's to show us where to park. When any normal person would have just said hello, park here, and now he's just giving out crap about the colour of my hair. I mean, that's ageist, isn't it? That's just total ageist.
I mean, he's got no limits really.
Oh, there's nothing, is there? There's no filter at all.
So Steam will be. Titans have opted to take that penalty. And we'll now give the Steam an extra 10 yards to start off this drive. Now going Twins on the right hand side. Looking rolling outside left hand side. Chases back round, spins. So an incomplete pass being chased down there, trying to find some way to actually get rid of the ball before taking that sack.
Yeah. They are getting a lot of pressure on him, aren't they? He's definitely having to move around a lot. 52's gone off with a bit of cramp. But again, at least this time they're not running on 6 men like they have done a couple of game days. They've got a bit of squad depth now, and it's starting to come together for them again.
Yeah, so there's a few of the teams have turned up with like a low number, and then right.
Oh, unfortunate.
Doesn't manage to bring that one in.
As a receiver, that's the ones you hate because your mind's already ready to come in the huddle.
You
wait. Caught that.
In your head, you've caught that, turned it.
Caught it. It's not even like, oh, I took my eye off it. That's I caught it. I'm starting to go back to the huddle basically, and oh, hang on, how did that happen? It's really annoying when it happens to you as well.
For that short pass to Greg.
Again,
gets the first down.
Gets motoring, doesn't he? Once he gets the ball in his hand. He's turned that into a nice little gamer there. And the first down. Shea's giving some abuse from the sideline. Again, it's just
I think
it's incorrigible, isn't it?
I think the worst thing is he's not actually abusing. Well, he's actually abusing the other referees that are on his own team.
Pitch.
He's abusing his own teammate referees this time. So he's
again, I don't know what he saw there. I think he's a bit unhappy with himself, and I think he was thinking of something. And it
was one of those ones where, as a QB, I mean, and I've done it a few times actually. As you're in that middle part of the throw, you're sitting there going, "I really shouldn't be throwing this one."
It must happen as well, isn't it? You call a play and then your head goes blank.
Yeah.
You're like, I've forgotten what I've said.
As a receiver, you kind of going like, "This is my one route I can remember."
Exactly.
As a QB, you've got I've got 4.
And the worst thing is, as well as a receiver, we can run part of the route and then decide to ad-lib and say, no, I saw something on the field. And you poor guy's still got to work, hang on, what is he running what he's supposed to? Is he doing something else? And Tom's done really well to avoid that pressure there, and he's got a very big gain out of that. Fair play.
A big
come back to the huddle, son. I didn't mean to do that one.
I think this is where we said before, like the difference between designed QB runs and I'm being forced. I'm being forced out. I've been forced out.
Yeah.
I'm going to take off now.
It's been road runnered out of it, and he ran. He's off. A bit of Speedy Gonzalez, and I better run. But again, it's a nice gain. It's not, not wasting that run there, is he at all? He didn't mean to use it. Again, they got their trips formation in here.
Ball on the pitch.
Ball come in.
So trips on the left.
Down is 3. Snap. 69's come open quite well, and he's got number 5 again. He's unfortunately a bit of a shocker. The crowd have gone crazy. You can hear them barking in the background.
I mean, this is where you need the motivational talk from.
It's like being in Cleveland.
You need those motivational talks from Tommy Two Drop.
Yeah, after that one he had the other game day. God, what a performance that was. He's already had one catch after having a tough play as well, so I wouldn't put it past him scoring on this one. It's 4th down now, so they really need this one.
Looks like a bullet blitz being signalled.
Yeah, this again is, we talked about the last game, this is the game for me. He needs to score here or it's done.
Tries to shovel pass out and away.
I think that again, he was thinking he's going to try and run, and then he's remembered, which is good, but he didn't have any options there, did he? So harassed by the.
I think that's another thing that has sort of dropped. It has now to drop into a QB's mind of.
Yeah.
Instead of having two QB runs, you've now got 4, 1 per quarter. So sometimes it's difficult to maintain.
I'm going out on a limb and calling game now.
At 25-19.
25-19 with 1 drive. You've got to be bold and put it out there. Let's see.
Adam Urbano taking off this time.
Lovely take off there, isn't it? Again, Adam's always got that really good, awareness of it, doesn't he? You always feel his are not designed in those instances, but he's ready every time. He'll take it.
I was just thinking then that the length of time between the snap and him taking off wasn't too much. I think that may have been a designed rollout and then run.
Yeah, maybe. The blitz certainly was on him pretty sharpish as well, wasn't he? He's a tough quarterback to slow down, really, Adam. He's got everything, and he can throw deep. He's got a lot of movement. He's got a flag on his hip, on his backside. That's a bit illegal, isn't it?
We'll let him off on this one unless he gets sacked.
Nice low catch there, and he's actually turned that into a huge gain.
I'm not saying a missed tackle there by number 21. Normally the blitzer.
They all do 'em.
It's difficult sometimes. Though. You're going to miss a few tackles. It's just you hope that they're not as big as that one.
Yep, yeah. It's the nature of the game, isn't it? We've talked about it before, but the old days where it was a bit of Velcro and a slight brush of the finger, it tackles you. Nowadays,
just a slight breeze and all the flags fell off.
Nowadays, you generally need at least some decent hand on it. Oh, and that's just fallen over. It's
a change of QB. Well, not a change.
They were going to run from that, weren't they?
I think they were going to hand it off to Adam and give him the option to run on that one, but.
So we're into third down. It's just more, it frustrates you, the loss of down, doesn't it? When you do those things, it's just a waste, isn't it? Oh, and they've gone back, so they are basically the same play. They're just doing it a bit more sure-handed, I think. And there's Adam, who's opened up completely for him. Yeah, it's tough to defend that. I think the team think they could have done, but they lost some sort of coverage that they were trying to do there.
It sounds like more of a.
I'm fine with it anyway because I called game 5 minutes ago.
It sounds like more about we talked about this in practice. Why have we not managed to do it on the actual field?
Yeah, I don't know how you train for that kind of thing because it's always quite ad lib and I don't know how you train for it.
I think it's very easy in the training sessions. You can sort of go like, this is what they're going to do. Let's keep an eye on this play through, and we'll do it a few times and get the repetitions in. And then when it comes into a game, it's not really expected. All of a sudden, you just dropped into that bit of. You got to keep an eye on the guy that's got the ball, and also the QB.
And the thing is, like with Adam especially, he's got a good turn of pace. So you see when he heads off, you're kind of like he's getting 15 here, whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's such a threat. And again, they do have that in their playbook where there is the snap it to somebody to give it to him. So they don't even worry about the running, the one run play themselves. They're actually quite happy to just use the playbook to give him a chance to run regularly. I've seen him a few times with that kind of mindset. And obviously the game's over for me, but we'll see how they get on here. They definitely need to score now.
Yeah, so as the team are now looking for, Dan Spence taking a little run there, picking up a few.
Good coverage on the defence as well. They stayed at home and just forced him to.
But Steam are going to need a quick score, and then a big defensive play, either a stop, as in like you don't even want to make it go full, the full 4 plays.
No, there is a lot of time. It does keep coming out. If you can keep scoring, you've just got to get a stop somewhere, haven't you? Oh, and again, they've definitely changed the playbook a little bit, haven't they? That's a couple of and that's pulling. I think that he's seen it. It's good, and that's what you want. The back judge has seen that, and it's a clear pull. It's a clear pull, and he's going to tell Luke who will call that every day of the week. Again, it's a shame. It's a tough one. It's not deliberate by any means, and but unfortunately, it's a pull. Okay, he's not declined it. Okay, so Luke's called it off as incidental, basically.
Dan called it off. Yeah. So a bit
out of bounds before.
There you go.
Oh, okay, so
got it from the ref. He was out of bounds, so he did pull him. It still counts as a foul, actually.
Well,
because it's a first down penalty job, isn't it? I think. If I remember right.
The actual play on that last one was that Dan had stepped out of bounds and then was held, and it was originally going to be called as a holding call by the referees, but Dan, the person who was actually held, actually said, "No, I was already out of bounds." So
I might be wrong, but it's still a holding penalty.
If he's out of bounds, it wouldn't be a holding penalty.
It's contact. I'll be interested because there's
if he stepped out of bounds, I mean, I think
it doesn't matter. Any contact, doesn't matter where you are on the field, it counts because it's a personal foul, isn't it? sure it isn't. Wow. And, well, that is a very good little run there. That's karma coming for him, innit? Giving that up and getting a play like that afterwards. Oh, somebody's down. He's probably looking for his shoes.
So, Lee
I
Tibbles with
didn't
it.
see whether he twisted his ankle or it looks like he's fell hard, hasn't he? He's up. He's shaking that off with a bit of dirt. He's just admitted to holding the foul.
Well, yeah,
It's just one of those. Again, as we say, you can't help it sometimes when you get caught up, and it's easy to pull a finger out or a.
so it's 5 yards away. I'm not too sure if they're in or outside the no-run zone. I think they're going to be
Looks
classed
like
as
they're
just
dead
in.
on it, yeah. So just in, isn't it?
And to a wide open defender.
And that's a real shame because I was just about to say he's finally not let the blitz give him a problem, and he's thrown probably his most
the
inopportune.
The blitz didn't really give him a problem on that one, but
Yeah. And again, it happens, doesn't it? We were talking about earlier. Sometimes you just forget the play, and sometimes you've literally it's going out of your hand, and you're like, "That's a lovely spot." Oh no!
I say
I haven't thrown it to anyone on my team.
yeah, it always counts one of those ones like sitting again as you're about to throw it, you're going, this is not the right throw to do right now. And I think you could see it on his face as soon as he threw that one. He was like, "This isn't."
Oh yeah, I mean
it was the wrong choice. Yeah, he was perfectly wide. I mean, the defender was wide open.
Yeah.
And he hit him perfect.
Give him the credit that he caught it anyway. Sometimes it does shock you when that comes because you're like, "There's no way he's throwing that at me." Again, Adam's just enough to move. He's just made it. I mean, that's a good receiver to have on the field, isn't it?
He'll make something out of nothing. But yeah, I think there was a handoff beforehand, so it gave Adam a lot more time.
Okay, I think they've called a referee's timeout there so that Shay can insult some people. I don't think there's actually any problem with the play.
I don't know if he's just starting to run out of insults
he's
now.
there. He's got his fingers shaped, ready for either a bird or a V sign. And I think they're just clarifying which one they'd rather have him do to them. Something exciting happened on the middle field, and let's hope Earls Barton have built on the win they had against us, and they go out and win this one as well. And it'll make them quite dark horses for the next game day to really put themselves up into the charts, into the standings. So Luke's made the play now. Oh, and they're going to check with the commissioner, which isn't any help for my legs that are aching. I want to sit down. I'd get the chair, but my son, who's done his knee, is probably more use for it than I am. How's your knee feeling? Do you fancy letting me have the seat now? I got laughed out of court for that one. That's a no. That was a hard no. That was a hard no then. They're clarifying some rule that I don't really know yet, but I don't know what it's for. They're asking Callum, so we're going to get the clear. And Marcus is heading off there to put his two penneth in. And Luke, you're absolute. He's 100%. Doesn't matter where you throw.
So a quick clarification on the question was when does a forward pass count as a forward pass, and the answer is every time.
Yeah. So and Callum's just quite clearly said it. So it's the act of the handoff was forward, which counts as a forward pass basically, and therefore when he's then thrown it forwards, he's getting called for a second forward pass. so why there's confusion is because they didn't realise they'd pitched it forward, sort of thing. Really, I think it's something along those lines. Anyway, it's been cleared up and called now. Shay's had chance to reset his swearing fingers, and we should be looking to see some good V signs coming.
Yes, I mean Shay does like first and second down. He loves making sure everyone's aware of it.
Third down as well because he can use both hands. I hope he listens to this commentary.
I hope someone listens to this.
Well,
on the right hand side.
As well. And they've gone back to the quarterback run.
Definitely a backwards handoff on that one.
And
being chased down now.
And he's really, really good there because Adam's usually gone when that happens.
I mean, it was one of those fourth or fifth attempts as he's falling down trying to get that one.
But you'll take that every time.
Oh, as a blitzer, you'll definitely take that.
Yeah, if he'd avoided it, he wasn't getting back on it, was he? He was on the floor.
The phrase "milking a cow" comes to mind as you see him
Absolutely.
grasping for the flags. So 9 minutes left. I'm not too sure. I think this is the 9 minutes left in the quarter.
Ball's gone, and oh my word! It's a one-man game to a certain degree, isn't it? 5 touchdowns of 5, I think. Yeah, he scored every touchdown. He's had a pick.
Yeah, I mean, if we are looking at this now, going, who's the MVP for this game? It has to be number 23 for the Titans. The only way this can not really go to him is if there's all of a sudden a great comeback by the Steam, and you have to kind of look at one of those ones. Goes at the Super Bowl bit of only one person on the losing team has won MVP. Twins on the right hand side. There we go.
Oh, I'm taking it off him. That's your commentator curse.
It's all going downhill from now.
You're really good at that commentator curse thing, aren't you?
It's all going really good. It's all going downhill for him now.
That's twice today you've had one, and something the next play's completely turned it on its head. So you're taking his vote off him now for that?
Oh yeah, he's dropped. I mean, I'd have taken him off for that one.
Yeah, I'm blaming Brabano, to be honest.
It's not like you to blame a QB for a mistake.
Yeah.
Adam taking off now. So you're looking around about 15 yards away now from the end zone.
And on cue, third down.
I don't know if it's number 23 has now lost all his first, second, third, and fourth down touchdown plays.
Yeah.
Been relegated to the bench.
No. It looks like he's still out there, doesn't it?
I think they're just trying to build his confidence back up now. That's what it is.
There you go.
He's had such a bad game.
Underneath there and
gone deep on that one.
Good defence, really. It's contested and done the right thing and managing to bat it away.
I mean, Greg Elliott with a great jumping back down. I think he was in the middle of about 3 other people that all went for it. So fourth down now. 6.5 minutes left now.
It's a lovely throw, and again,
and
Spence recovered really well there. Okay, this could be the turnaround you were talking about. They got the start.
So 31-19.
They got the one stop. They've obviously got to go and score here and find a way to stop them one more
time.
They could have done enough time for it.
They could have done that one stop a few drives ago, when it was still a bit of a closer game.
You mean just when I called game?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a really good, a masterclass really by the blitzer as well. That he really has harried him, hasn't he? You know,
so Tom's normally.
Yeah, and Tom. Yeah.
He's normally quite like a calm, relaxed QB, and he'll sort of stand in the backfield and go from there. But they've made him change his playbook.
How did you used to feel with that kind of tenacious kind of guy? You know, everything you did, he's still hanging on to you. That really worrying.
It is kind of like, it does play on the mind, definitely.
was a nice effort, deep pass. Oh, and a fumble by the referee. Wasted half a precious second there.
So 3rd down, still a long way to go.
That's not a bad little play, you know. He's got a good yard, and it's 4th and manageable now, isn't it? So it's not always about taking a deep shots just because you are way behind the chain.
So you're now looking about 4th and about 6, maybe 7.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, you're back to that kind of pretty much everything medium range is open to you as a quarterback. And okay, the bullet very
blitz
late
used on this
decision
one.
to bullet blitz, but and it's harassed him again there, hasn't he?
So Titans take over now. 31-19, still in that lead.
I was just thinking that was commentary on me. He's got nothing left, and that's me now. I have nothing left. I checked out a bit when I said it was over, didn't I? So it's that 3 minutes and a half, isn't it, basically, in the game? So Adam's going to probably try. I was going to say he's going to. Oh my word! And he's just pulled out a one-hander. Yeah. It's like what?
That does give him the 1st down, and
He's walking back to the huddle saying, "What? What? I do that all the time." Well, there you go. I suppose that's a lovely play. And again, they're just going to take as long as they can and make sure that they use every bit of clock that they can.
looking for 23 coming across, going for the other side, number 44. Brings in the one-handed catches, can't do the two-handed catches. It was slightly
the
low.
ball come out awkward, didn't it, from Adam there? It kind of stuck in his hand almost as he pulled in. It kind of sent it wobbling a bit. And we said earlier in that last game is sometimes as a receiver, if it's coming in the spiral, it's much easier. If your hands are right, it's going to go in. When it's coming a bit bobbled like that one, it's a tough catch when you're stretching for it in the first place.
What I mean, I say he's not the shortest of guys, and it was fairly low, so he's got a long way to reach down. Giving number 23 the handoff there. 21 with a great tackle though.
Superb. We've seen some good blitzing today, haven't we? And again, great reaction from 21 to snuff that one out in the backfield. And there's your 2-minute warning.
Sounds like quite a close game between the Raiders and the Cougars on that far sideline.
I would guess the Cougars are winning just the way they're reacting to that. Yeah. Again, that's got to be called, surely.
I mean,
I'd be interested. I think that's proper contact. Yeah, I think he's called it.
So I think the Cowan Cougars may have just beaten the Old Spartan Raiders, and I think number 23 just beat Greg Elliott from the Steam physically.
Oh God, he beat him.
He beat him physically on that one.
Again, it's one of those you call in. It's incidental and it is definitely going, but unfortunately with the rules, I would think for me that is an offensive. Not quite sure. What did he end up calling? Incomplete. I know.
Just an incomplete pass. I don't think there was any.
Right. So he's effectively saying both of them. It's their own fault.
Not quite the way I saw that one personally.
And that's a turnover. So that's the last two drives have stalled, and like you said earlier on the last one, is if they'd been able to do that a little bit earlier and finish another drive off, it would have been going to the wire, wouldn't it? But again, is that a little bit of the playbook? They're not so worried, and
Yeah, so like I said, the Titans have stored a few on these ones now, but the Steam have also stored, so it's kind of they're doing okay on this one now.
Nice move by Tom there. He's gained another 6 yards there with the spin moves. Again, it's shrooms though, isn't it? You know, people had the flags and it's taking that half a second to get them pulled out because they're just tougher to pull. I'm not a shrooms fan, as you're probably well aware.
It's the evolution of the game.
Velcro for me, old school.
So yeah, when you look at that,
full of full voice.
when you look at that, the evolution of flags from Velcro to poppers to shrooms,
Yeah.
it's always that bit of what's going to be the next thing to actually come
Glue?
through. I mean, I could have done with that quite a few times.
Yeah, I always could do it. I don't think. I think today was the first time I've ever forced a missed tackle in my career. Not
So-
in a week or a day or a year. Ever.
That glue's really working out for you then, you'd be alright.
Yeah. Sorry to call him out, but McRae missed it, I think. Thank God. I gained at least half a yard because I rumbled another quarter of a yard.
So first down, 12 yards to go.
Yeah. Blitz is still going strong.
Twins on the right hand side.
It's a wobbly one, but Spencer's found
Dan
himself
Spence
open
in
at
the back of the
and
end
kept
zone.
his eyes on it, and like you said earlier, they'll be ruining those stalled drives a little bit earlier, wouldn't they? So pretty much the only thing that's going to work from now is get a couple of three. I don't know how long's actually left, and then find a way to make Adam throw a pick six.
Well, they're going for 3 now.
Yeah.
They're down by 6.
I think time might have expired, so this is ready for your highlight plays anyway. Let's see if we can get that done. We've just got the ref a bit hustling around.
A quick silent snap.
Wow, and it wasn't far off.
I mean, in the route of in the space of 2 Steam players, so it was on target.
Yeah, it's all you can ask sometimes, isn't it? I mean, that's a very low percentage play, as they say.
So that is the end of the game. Play did expire in that previous one. So that finishes off Leighton Steam 25,